What is going on, buddy?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. When we left off, the big plot twist has come forth.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say
the rumor
it.
Come out.
Bro, this is one of the wildest things in not a good way that I think we've ever encountered on our channel when it comes to story-wise.
Like a mineral in the soil of this land gets into the water.
Yeah.
And they drink the water, and the mineral in their body makes it so that the sound of silver being struck makes them pass out.
Yeah. Apparently there is also like a part of an actual silver allergy, which is why there's no silver around the town as well. But the big thing was the bell down below, and like, listen, I was okay with the fact
there's
of like,
no silver, so that there's no chance of it getting struck and someone randomly passes out. Maya called it an allergy because that was just Maya being Maya.
True. But
it's
like,
not an allergy. It's just
know,
it makes you if I was just saying off camera, if you touch it, that makes sense if you pass out.
Yeah.
But hearing it,
that's where you lost me on that one.
And it's one specific metal. How does the brain know? Like, it's just, oh my god.
Yeah. You know, earlier on when it came to the whole magic shelf with the shades, you know, there was a little bit of weirdness with that of like, so you're telling me that magic doesn't exist, it's created by machines, but you have these the invisibility cloaks, and you also have the ability to make portals through green walls. How do you do that without magic? And the fact of like everything there's ironically magic, like you telling me that this whole storyteller thing, unless he'll probably explain it hopefully later on about being able to control everything with the stroke of a pen, that sounds like magic to me. But you know, I was fine with the fact of this taking place in the real world. I already kind of had that inkling of like, maybe this is like outside somewhere secluded, because it didn't seem right for like to actually go into a fantasy world, if that made sense. So that didn't surprise me too much.
The wall makes sense now.
But the moment you created this weird silver thing, you lost me on that one.
Yeah.
But let's see what else he has in store for us. The substance that enables the manipulation of people's minds.
Hold it!
Let's keep going on this. That sounds really scary. Just what is this about?
The substance enters the groundwater, affecting organisms that consume it. People who drink it daily acquire that odd condition, if all unconscious, upon hearing the sound of silver metal.
Fucking can't even say that with a straight face.
Yes, it's so serious, although the substance in the groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants.
Oh, yeah, like, the whole plant thing.
Bubblers in this area contain a certain poison.
Upon my beard! Poison?
This poison doesn't harm the body, has the effects of manipulating the mind.
So it brainwashes people.
I've been writing the story for 10 years. The title of the story is History Labyrinthia. The ink I used to write it was made from those plants.
Oh, Nick, do you remember how funny the ink smelled?
It was the gas released when the ink evaporates. And that's where the trick is.
What?
Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion.
You mean brainwashing?
They will believe anything they are told, or anything they read of a strange or unrealistic. It will be imprinted into their minds as the truth. That was the true purpose of the parades.
Okay, yeah, you hand the papers out and then everyone falls for what you write on it.
Everyone picks it up and they're all like, oh, this is real.
Oh, it smells so funny.
Pages of the story, written in that special ink, were regularly distributed among the townspeople. It was done so that everyone would be in a state of hypnosis. Indeed, the creation of a fully controlled town with the inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis. That is one of the topics of our research.
And it's interesting that, you know, like a whole government agency is interested in researching the topic of hypnosis and brainwashing.
And controlling an entire town.
Uh-oh.
An entire population.
Then the story that is written in the History Labyrinthia.
You could call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Unless the shades work and the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors.
Is that how it was all this time?
Everyone used hypnosis to control all these people. can't believe that the government was supporting that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have kind of an answer for that whole thing. You know, you write it in this ink and it makes people kind of, you know, you
It's
write
funny,
the
you were like, he did explain it like you were hoping.
Yeah, you know, you write it down and, you know, someone reads it and then they're gonna... Now, the whole thing of how Kira realized that she was the Great Vivitch through all that writing when it was never stated that she was the Great Vivitch for all that writing is kind of another
Kira?
thing. But, yeah, because remember, as it was stated here at the end, is that the storyteller wrote that Kira was going to be the Great Vivitch for this trial, and that's when Darklaw was like, no, I don't play like that. A spell is the Great Vivitch, so I'm going to put her in the tower. That's what they said happened in the last part.
Huh.
But let's talk about all this. All the people such as the experiment have been living here all this time?
No, we started with just a few people, gradually getting more and more.
Getting?
I must say I'm afraid of what the answer to this question might be. But where did these people come from? You haven't resorted to abduction by any chance, have you? Of course not. Every test subject signed a contract with the Labyrinth.
I didn't. Neither Layton or Luke
Yeah.
or Maya. Why are we here in the first place? A contract to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story?
The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew, forgetting about their mistakes, forsaking unwanted identities. There are more people like that out there than you might think. They have all agreed to participate in our research.
But that's insane.
Yeah.
It's not as unreasonable as you suggest. We give them a new identity, a chance to start their life again.
What about the children?
In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live in this town as our test subjects.
I mean, I guess the kids born here don't have to worry about it. They're just born under contract to begin with.
In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract.
Wow.
So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on.
I couldn't agree more. I've got no idea what's going on.
Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories, we suppress them. They regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia once their contract is over.
So, this place was uninhabited before you started this research 10 years ago?
And you've managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight.
Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time.
It was achieved through the distribution of the story during parades. The ink vapors have a powerful effect, but it wouldn't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That's why the parades took place at regular intervals.
Peace?
Took place.
That was the true purpose of that event.
All right.
That's...
I have been born and raised here. It was a poor small town with no industry to speak of that had fallen behind the times. Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke.
Oh.
Sir Newton Belduke? The alchemist?
It's the first time we've seen him. He's so narrow. Like,
Well,
seen
I've
him,
seen him.
I
Well,
mean,
that
from up
front profile, yeah.
So, they were childhood friends. The plot thickens!
He had always been interested in the unique natural features of this land. There was really nothing here, but to us this area was an exciting place worth exploring. And one day we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground caverns, leading to the colossal ruins.
Oh, look at that, Newton. This is so amazing. And the strange writing. I've never seen anything like it before.
We found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them.
According to the findings, a high advanced culture had existed on the land where our little town was built. Some great calamity had befallen the natives, and they migrated elsewhere.
You just giving up on the voice.
Well, I assume this is the Belduke, but I don't feel like that. And also it's killing me.
No, this is still the storyteller's voice.
They believe that plants and water of that area were cursed by an entity they called the Great Vivitch Bazella. The natives sealed the curse within the runes and left in search of a new home. That is all that we managed to decipher.
Bazella's curse.
The seal in the runes, you say? Would that be the Bell of Rune? The Bell of Rune.
Rune. Oh, that's the bell from the bell tower. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that. Is it made of silver?
Well, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at that time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very excited by the discovery. I knew its place is special. It had some kind of mysterious power. If you find out what that is, a humble town would become famous. You know what? I'm going to do that. We'll unravel the mystery of this place. And so Newton began studying the indigenous plants and substances dissolved in the groundwater. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at a university in London. I dreamed of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town. I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands. Meanwhile, Newton had succeeded at extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of Laburnum? Yes, it was a huge success for Laburnum Inc., and before we knew it, we were making a fortune. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Alas, fate was not kind to us as we never realized that dream. Everyone in our town had died. All the townspeople perished.
What?
Huh?
Just what on earth happened to them?
Also, I have something. I have a question.
Yes?
If the magic is not real, explain the flying witch creatures throwing a car into a tree, and
Listen, I know.
and one of them going into, appearing into Layton's home and taking my brain's breaking, sorry.
It's fine.
Taking Espella and teleporting her away. And have we just, like, what
I was gonna keep going forward.
explain that? Because there's no hallucinogens or anything.
Listen.
You just,
In the words of the storyteller,
That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our town, the mountains, the lake, the plains, everything. Then 10 years ago, we received financial support from the government. We started Project Labyrinthia.
there's 3 huts and a fucking well. Way to go.
It was much smaller in the beginning. It started as no more than a village.
And a bluebird. Can you control birds' minds too?
does it knock
Is
birds
that what
out?
the owl does?
Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew into a town. The population increased as well. More people were signing the contract with Laburnum, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct? And children being born in here, being forced to live here, yes. They would sign the contract, be hypnotized and assigned a role, and then be introduced to the world of the story.
Oh, what the fuck?
I have spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale. Bazella is the name of a witch from an ancient legend that we read about in the runes.
Read about.
It is a fictional character. She does not exist.
Well, someone believed she existed.
But then magic and witches?
Magic is just an illusion. There are no witches.
Alright, so it was all fake. That doesn't make it much better. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into the fire?
And also, I remember it was talked about that people, like even the victims of the magic of crime, like and it was confirmed a little bit ago in like previous recordings, the the mug and whatever, the two
Yeah, the two rogues.
the two rogues that were burst into flames in the village. Like, how do you explain them getting away when you, like, it's like they straight up used a machine while the shades were invisible, because that's not magic at all to be invisible, and, you know, producing flame, and it's like, how did they get away?
Yeah.
You put them in fire.
Maybe they rang a bell, you know, because that's why they have the bells. They knocked everyone out.
Maybe, dude. I don't
Because
know.
hearing silver
Let's
ringing
keep
makes them
going.
pass out. You could have made it a peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy.
That didn't make
But
me
instead
happy.
you brought, you know, the Salem witch trials back here.
No, that was not possible.
But why?
This is a research facility after all. We're researching ways to completely control human beings. The subjects need to be exposed to extreme situations, so we decided on a fantasy setting. We wouldn't have got funding from the government otherwise. In other words, we're running a business.
I need my D&D campaign to be real.
But just what instructions do you give the people? Do you give to the people you hypnotize? You don't give each of them a full set of memories for their whole fictional life, do you?
No, it's much more simple than that. We give them two pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. Then they fill in the gaps themselves. Without being aware of it, the human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, that no labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. No one has any memories from before they came to Labyrinthia.
What are you saying?
That's why, oh, here.
That's all one big lie. I am who I am.
But can you remember your childhood? I can't.
That's true. I can't remember even my parents.
No, wait. I can't recall my own mother's face. Oh my
Wow, this is getting kind of fucked up.
Holy shit.
As you can hear, no one can remember their real past. There are no exceptions.
Also, that explains why Phoenix and Maya thought they were
there
bakers.
for 5 years. Yeah, as a baker. Huh? Wait a second. No exceptions.
I smell a contradiction here.
It seems Mr. Wright too has noticed it now.
What are you talking about, Layton?
Mr. Cantabelli, you have just testified that, and I quote, not a single citizen of this town remembers anything from more than 10 years ago.
Yes, as that is the truth.
Now, that's a strange assertion, especially coming from you.
What do you mean?
There's one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago.
That cannot be. That is impossible. They must be merely imagining things now.
Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is this person that remembers their past?
I mean,
Alright. If the game literally goes down this route, I'm gonna fucking scream.
what?
If they're gonna say the person who remembers their past is the storyteller, I'm gonna fucking scream because he's the researcher. Of course he remembers his past. That can't be the right answer, right? Please gray out his dumb fucking face. Okay.
Okay.
Now, technically...
She remembers the fire.
Yes, Estella remembers the fire, which I find a very interesting memory. Because we don't really know anything about Dark Law's past.
Not much.
You know, we know that she's involved in kind of the hierarchy of things, but I think even she, to an extent, was probably being controlled by this. I think that the only two people that really knew what was going on were the storyteller and then the alchemist. So I'm gonna say the educated guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Estella Cantabelli.
Also, like,
Yes.
Layton, Luke, Phoenix, and Maya did not sign a contract.
No, we were literally just abducted in here for some reason. Like literally, it wasn't even accident.
Like why?
The
And
book-
the storyteller even said, "Oh, you're getting in my way." Then why did you?
Yeah, Why give us the book? How did we get the book in the first? Like, you mean you just left your book out in the fucking trial room afterwards? And I was like, well, I didn't mean for that to happen, but then you kidnapped us anyways?
Like, they can sue him.
Precisely, Mr. Wright. That person's none other than a spell Cantabella. What? That's impossible.
It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire.
No, that's impossible. It's just your imagination, Espella.
No, it's not. I couldn't remember it before, but it all came back to me because I'm Brazella.
No, Espella, there are no witches. That fight was just a bad dream. The Inquisition would like to call Espella Cantabella to testify.
What?
Regardless of whether Miss Cantabella is Brazella or not, her memories may contain valuable clues.
Yes, that may be so.
No, wait. I don't agree to this. This trial is over, Your Honor.
Why is he freaking out?
You seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Cantabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. Oh. You are merely one of the characters. And this is also why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it. Grr.
Grr.
Grr, grr, grr.
Defense, what is your opinion on this?
Oh, I've got a lot of opinions already, but Espella keeps insisting that she's the witch Brazella.
Yeah.
The Vavitch. As her attorney, well, you know what? At this point, the Vavitch does not exist.
Yeah.
Or back to witches at this point. As her attorney, I should refuse to let her speak to the court. But what's really important now is finding the truth, just as Layton said. There's only one way to proceed with this trial. And that's by questioning Miss Cantabella about her memories.
In that case, the court summons Espella Cantabella as a witness. Attendants, bring the accused to the witness stand.
Also, I just realized something.
Yes. Tell me more.
I just keep realizing
Please
more
tell me
things. The animals that Luke has talked to, they seem to be believing everything that's going on too. So that means that they
Apparently they're huffing that paper real hard, dude.
Yeah, because like the owl was like, oh, this was supposed to be going to the storyteller and from the alchemists and all that, and then Constantine's just like, oh, the storyteller lives over there.
Let's just proceed with caution. You want to say your line?
Oh, right, it's me.
Yep.
Now, witness, testify about your memories of the legendary fire.
Yes, my lord.
Okay.
Witness testimony. Legendary fire. I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual fire festival. Everyone was gathered in the town square for the fire festival, and I was watching them from the bell tower. The great Vavitch
It's just witch at this point.
The great witch Brazella
The great Vavitch does not exist apparently, so it was just the great witch at this point now.
awoke within me and brought calamity upon the town. An enormous fire dragon appeared. I was trembling with fear, terrified by what I had summoned. It was awful.
Okay.
Witness, what you've told us is bullshit. No, wasn't a bad dream or fairy tale, but what you actually experienced.
Yes, it was. Like I've already said, I remember it very clearly. The heat from the fire, the smell of smoke.
Espella, what are you talking about?
So, I should have said this before when he was testifying and he talked about the town before, and he said he wouldn't go further on it.
About how everyone died?
Here was my thought that I should have said before all this testimony, but here's what happened.
Okay.
Espella was a kid and accidentally caused a fire that killed the entire fucking town.
Oh my god.
So what does the storyteller do? You know, he and his buddy, they're researching real hard about a substance that can help you control memories. And he's like, that didn't happen. You'll never remember that anything like that happened.
It was a dragon.
But I think at this point he was fully like trying to be like, Nothing. You didn't see anything, Espella. It's like he's like, you shouldn't remember anything like this because I'm controlling your mind and your memories. But it's not working because you know what? As much as you may try, you can't suppress that much trauma.
No.
If you burned a whole town down and killed everyone inside it, it's gonna be real hard to erase that one from your brain.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to go back home.
Wait, did I just say the defense may cross-examine the witness?
You do that sometimes, Judge. Your real life comes back. So, was there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? What about Bazella? Is she even real? The answers are in Spella's testimony. Alright. Let's cross-examine the legendary fire. Yes, little girl. Annual fire festival. There are firefighters everywhere. If only they were on the clock. Do you remember what age you were then?
I'm not quite sure, but I think I was 6 or 7.
And how old are you now?
I'm 18 years old.
Just over 10 years ago. How convenient.
Yep.
That means those events did take place more than 10 years ago. It's very odd that you have memories that old, but perhaps we're mistaken about your age at the time.
Objection. Your Honor, no one besides the Speller has witnessed the legendary fire, which would mean that the incident occurred before Labyrinth was created over 10 years ago.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all. How many times do I need to tell you there are no witches, no magic? The legendary fire is just a story. This interrogation serves no purpose.
His
Yeah,
voice
you shake
sounded
your head,
funky
Judge.
there.
Listen.
Mr. Cantabella, the court asks you to be quiet during another witness's testimony unless you're asked to speak.
He's killing my voice, man. Alright. On to the next part. Gather in town square for the firefighters watching them from the bell tower. You mean like this one? Ding, ding, ding. Oh, shit. Could you tell us a little more about this fire festival you were watching?
Yes, it seems to be an ancient custom in this area.
Okay.
The townspeople make a fire offering to the great... I'm so
Just the
used to
Great
saying-
Witch.
Why, though?
Because the Great Vivitch does not exist, apparently, in this world.
Well, it's still the Vivitch.
Doesn't it? Nope.
But it's the great fake Vivitch.
Perfect.
Rosella, so that she will not bring misfortunes upon them. A great fire is lit in the middle of the town square. The festival lasts all night long.
Seems dangerous.
Yeah.
That's correct. The festival takes place once every year. It's quite magnificent with all the townsfolk assembled in the square. Unless it is a counterfeit memory imprinted in our minds by you. What's real, what's not real?
No, this festival has been held here since before I was born. It appears to be a very old custom indeed.
By the way, why were you in the bell tower in the first place?
Huh?
You know, you said everyone was at the town square. Why weren't you there?
You're right. I can't remember. I probably went there because Bezella awoke within me.
Despite having vivid memories of the fire, you do not remember much of anything else that occurred at the time?
Yes. I was at the top of the bell tower, looking down at people in the town square. Eve.
Cat.
Someone was with me there. Oh, that's right. It was Eve.
Eve. Her black cat, huh?
I didn't think Eve was that old.
Huh?
Yeah, that's old for a
Yeah,
cat.
that's fucking old, dude.
Well then.
Alright. Brought calamity upon the town. Fire and brimstone everywhere. Do you remember casting a spell?
I cannot remember.
Ooh, what you gotta say to that one?
Oh, he's stressed. Hang on!
You look upset, Mr. Cantabella.
That glare.
Now, pardon me. Did you want something?
I'd like to know what you think about Ispella's last statement.
My opinion about all this has not changed since last time. It is all just a dream. Listen to me, Espella. You are not Bazella. There was no legendary fire.
Dad, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw, and how it felt, the heat, the smoke.
Magic doesn't exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either. Isabella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon at that time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we can't make any progress. Have any relevant evidence? Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon Isabella saw as a child was real? I don't think I have anything at the moment. The core record. We have a cloak. A contraption. The bell tower plan. Ain't shit there.
Nope.
We have the vigilante report and the footprints and the pendant. I have fuck all at the moment, so I'd say I have nothing. Thanks for that. I don't think there's anything I could use.
I'm disappointed you. I understand your choice to be cautious with your judgment, Mr. Wright. However, I must remind you
So we do have something.
that the only way to discover the whole truth is to bring to light the true nature of the dragon witnessed by the accused.
What?
I don't think. I'm just saying that I think we might need to find what it is, but I guess he has a point there. Maybe overlook some clues in the testimony.
Let's arm ourselves to the teeth with evidence and give it another shot. Are you saying
Yeah, I
that,
think
that we have
find
something, though?
Well, I think that what Phoenix just said there is that we have to find clues in the testimony,
okay.
which should probably update something for us. But all right.
There's the
But
line.
first, we need more info. Goodness.
Whoa, bad timing. Time to do some pressing.
Witness, continue your testimony.
Yes, my lord.
All right. That was the final part. And was fire dragon appeared. It was trembling with fear, terrified of what it. Okay. So we will press that statement and keep this whole wild train going next time.
Ah,
Oh boy.
God.
This game is something all of a sudden. I tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah.